Under the shimmering neon glow of Nova Etheria, Kai Zenith's heart pounded like the distant rumble of a supernova. The rain-slick streets mirrored his turbulent emotions as memories of devastating loss and the promise of retribution collided within him. In that electric moment, amidst futuristic spires and ancient enigmatic ruins, an ominous secret stirred, a whisper of impending catastrophe. His eyes, burning with defiant resolve, betrayed a soul ready to confront destiny's cruel hand. As dawn broke over the sprawling megacity, a surreal interplay of light and shadow revealed Nova Etheria's dual nature, a visionary metropolis born from humanity's relentless ambition, and a repository of cosmic relics left by a civilization long forgotten. Towering structures of reflective metal and crystalline panels caught the first blush of sunrise, casting prismatic hues across rain-washed avenues. Every cobblestone and holographic mural whispered fragments of old legends, hints of mysteries that defied the orderly logic of modern science. Kai moved through this living mosaic with measured urgency. An astrophysicist and investigative officer for the Interstellar Exploration Agency, he was a man defined by contradictions, a tender heart hardened by grief, a brilliant mind fueled by both sorrow and hope. His past was marred by a cataclysm that had stolen everything dear, leaving behind scars as permanent as the etched alien symbols adorning the ruins. Each step he took resonated with the weight of memory and the fierce determination to unearth truths buried beneath layers of bureaucratic secrecy and cosmic enigma. In the humid early light, the city itself seemed to breathe, its pulse synchronizing with Kai's inner turmoil. The aroma of ionized rain mixed with the tang of exotic street foods and the sterile whir of advanced machinery, creating an intoxicating sensory tapestry. Amid this vibrant chaos, murmurs of forbidden knowledge drifted on the wind, rumors of a hidden government plan so audacious it could shatter the delicate balance of power in the galaxy. These whispers, carried through the labyrinthine alleys and echoing corridors of Nova Etheria, set Kai's investigative instincts ablaze. Haunted by a past he could neither forget nor fully understand, Kai felt a magnetic pull toward the city's shadowed corners and its unspoken secrets. Every glimmer of neon light that danced upon ancient stone called him to delve deeper, to confront not only the mysteries of a forgotten era, but also the dark conspiracies that threatened his fragile hope. With the day unfolding before him, Kai steeled himself against the encroaching darkness, unaware that his journey into the heart of Nova Etheria's luminous veil would irrevocably alter the fate of his world. Beneath the gleaming veneer of Nova Etheria, Kai ventured into the city's forgotten outskirts, where modern splendor dissolved into the quiet decay of ancient ruins. The cobblestones, worn smooth by the passage of countless eras, led him to a crumbling complex that whispered secrets of an age before recorded history. Here, among shattered columns and moss-draped archways, the city's hidden past and a cosmic enigma converged. As Kai stepped over fractured thresholds, the air grew heavy with a palpable mixture of anticipation and dread. The ruins exuded a faint luminescence, an eerie glow that seemed to pulse in rhythm with the distant hum of energy. Every surface was etched with intricate alien glyphs, curving symbols and abstract designs that defied terrestrial logic, hinting at technologies and civilizations lost to time. In that silent, forsaken space, Kai felt as though he had crossed into a realm where every stone held a memory of cosmic forces beyond human comprehension. Guided by instinct and the urgency of his investigation, Kai's eyes caught a peculiar glimmer beneath a collapsed archway. Clearing away debris with careful precision, he uncovered a small sealed chamber. Inside, the remnants of an advanced interface, a holographic console partially fused with crystalline components, rested untouched by the ravages of time. Dust motes danced in the narrow beam of light that filtered through a fractured ceiling, illuminating a cache of classified data files and encrypted records. His heart quickened. The discovery was more than a relic of a bygone era. It was a meticulously hidden trove of evidence. Fingers trembling with a blend of excitement and apprehension, Kai activated the console. The device hummed softly as ancient circuits flickered to life, projecting ghostly blue images and streams of indecipherable code into the dim air. As the hologram stabilized, one record in particular caught his attention, a schematic labeled Supernova Fleet Activation Protocol. The document detailed an elaborate plan, one that hinted at the dangerous convergence of alien technology and human ambition. Kai's mind raced as he realized that the dormant armada, a relic of another civilization, was not merely an artifact of the past, but a potential instrument of mass destruction if harnessed without restraint. The revelation struck him like a meteor impact. The implications were staggering. Activating the supernova fleet could trigger a chain reaction of cosmic proportions, unleashing forces that might obliterate entire star systems. The deeper he delved into the digital archive, the more the weight of responsibility pressed upon him. Every byte of data resonated with a foreboding message. Humanity's relentless drive for progress could, if unchecked, morph into an uncontrollable force capable of consuming worlds. Haunted by the flickering images of the holographic files, Kai began to piece together the puzzle. The alien inscriptions around him now took on a dual significance. They were not only relics of a civilization long gone, but also cryptic warnings encoded into stone. Each symbol seemed to echo the warnings of the ancient architects, that some powers once awakened would demand a price far beyond human reckoning. The intertwining of these messages with the high-tech schematics of the supernova fleet stirred a maelstrom of conflicting emotions within him, a mixture of awe at the sophistication of the ancient design and terror at the catastrophic potential it embodied. Kai's mind filled with questions. Who had originally built the fleet, and what was their true intent? How had these enigmatic technologies survived the passage of time, hidden in plain sight among the relics of lost civilizations? And most urgently, who among the living was now determined to reactivate this cosmic juggernaut? The answers, he suspected, lay within the blurred lines between history and prophecy, science and myth, a realm where every truth was shrouded in layers of enigmatic symbolism. With the evidence securely stored in his portable data module, Kai carefully retraced his steps through the ruins' labyrinthine corridors. Outside, the vibrant chaos of Nova Etheria resumed its relentless pace, yet within him, a new disquieting awareness had taken root. The city's bright lights now bore an unsettling undercurrent. Every holographic billboard, and each glistening skyscraper seemed to pulse with the hidden rhythm of a dormant threat waiting to be awakened. In that moment of quiet determination, as the ancient ruins echoed with the voices of a forgotten era, Kai resolved to delve deeper into the mystery. He knew that uncovering the origins and the intended use of the supernova fleet was not merely a quest for knowledge. It was a race against time to avert a disaster that could reshape the cosmos. The weight of this discovery pressed upon him, a silent promise that his next steps would lead him into even darker territories, where the boundaries between past and future, hope and despair, blurred into a single inescapable destiny. Every step away from the ruins carried the lingering resonance of alien whispers, a haunting reminder that humanity's greatest achievements might also harbor its most perilous vulnerabilities. And as Kai emerged back into the pulsating heart of Nova Etheria, his soul was irrevocably marked by the echoes of an ancient warning, a call to arms against the inexorable march of fate, and a beacon of hope that even in the shadow of cosmic calamity, a single light could ignite the resistance against oblivion. The labyrinthine corridors of Nova Etheria's underbelly concealed more than just long-forgotten relics. They harbored secrets and conspiracies woven deep into the city's very soul. Beneath the neon brilliance and the glimmer of futuristic spires, Kai found himself drawn into shadowy quarters, where whispered plots and coded messages permeated the air like an illicit perfume. Here, in dimly lit halls and backroom meeting spaces, the true architects of destiny moved unseen, their intentions obscured by layers of intrigue and ambition. It was in one such hidden enclave, a repurposed substation tucked beneath an aging transit hub, that Kai encountered a figure whose presence exuded an unsettling mix of intellect and magnetism. Nova Caldera stood at the center of a circle of clandestine informants, her silhouette framed by the diffuse glow of outdated monitors and holographic charts. With sharp, calculating eyes that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality, she radiated a dangerous allure that captivated even the most hardened conspirators. Her voice, low and measured, carried an authority that demanded attention as she outlined plans that bordered on visionary madness. "You see," Nova explained to the gathered crowd, her tone both persuasive and coldly pragmatic, "our destiny is not bound by the past, but is forged in the fires of transformation. The supernova fleet is not a relic to be feared. It is a tool, a catalyst for the evolution we so desperately need." Her words reverberated in the cramped space, a declaration of revolutionary intent that both enthralled and alarmed her audience. As she spoke, her gaze swept across the room, lingering on each listener as though reading the depths of their souls, testing their loyalty to an idea that could reshape the cosmos. Kai, concealed in the dim recesses of the gathering, felt a surge of conflicting emotions. The charismatic force before him was the embodiment of everything he both feared and sought to understand. As Nova detailed her plan, a meticulous convergence of ancient technology and modern innovation, the underlying tension in the room thickened. The murmur of agreement from some, juxtaposed with the wary glances of others, underscored the precarious balance between visionary progress and reckless ambition. In a quiet exchange away from prying eyes, a seasoned informant, cloaked in the grime and shadow of the Undercity, leaned in toward Kai. "She's been gathering allies for months," the man murmured. "Not just scientists and ex-military, but those who believe the old order must burn for something new to rise." His hushed tone betrayed both admiration and dread. The conspiratorial network Nova had woven reached far, its tendrils creeping into corridors of power and forbidden archives, uniting disparate elements under a singular, audacious goal. Meanwhile, Nova herself moved like a specter among her acolytes. The subtle interplay of her words and gestures painted a picture of a leader who was not simply orchestrating a rebellion against the status quo, but was seduced by the idea of remaking the very essence of human progress. In every measured pause and decisive glance, she exuded the belief that history was a canvas waiting to be redefined, even if the cost was incalculable. As the clandestine meeting dissolved into murmurs and furtive departures, Kai stood alone in the echoing silence of his thoughts. The encounter with Dr. Nova Caldera had unspooled a tapestry of uncertainty. Her vision, while alluring, carried the weight of irreversible consequence. With every step he took back into the pulsating heart of Nova Etheria, he felt the invisible hand of destiny guiding him toward a confrontation, not only with a formidable adversary, but with the very ideas that underpinned the fate of the galaxy. In the pre-dawn gloom, Nova Etheria wore a mask of eerie silence, a deceptive calm that belied the storm churning within Kai's soul. Alone in his cramped quarters, he replayed every moment of his recent discoveries like a relentless echo. The cold, unyielding data from the ancient holograms gnawed at him, igniting a maelstrom of guilt, dread, and desperate resolve. Shadows danced across the walls as he confronted the scars of his past, a family lost to cosmic chaos, memories that now served as both a beacon of hope and a reminder of his failure to protect what mattered most. Haunted by these recollections, Kai sought the counsel of an old friend, Arya Solace, a seasoned engineer known for her unflinching pragmatism and deep empathy. In a secluded corner of a neon-lit cafe tucked away from Nova Etheria's ceaseless bustle, the pair sat huddled over a flickering holographic display. The ambient hum of distant machinery and murmurs of midnight conversations underscored the gravity of their meeting. Arya's eyes, reflecting both wisdom and worry, met his as she gently questioned, "Kai, are we steering toward salvation, or is this a path to annihilation?" Her voice trembled with the weight of unspoken truths. Their conversation unfurled like a tapestry of conflicting philosophies. Kai detailed the encrypted files he'd recovered, schematics and alien symbols that hinted at the catastrophic potential of the supernova fleet. As he spoke, the cafe's ambient clatter receded into silence, replaced by the steady cadence of his racing heartbeat. "Every piece of this relic," he murmured, "seems to scream a warning, yet it also offers a glimpse of power we've never dared to wield." His words were laced with both awe and terror, the duality of human ambition laid bare. Arya leaned forward, her fingers tracing abstract patterns on the hollow table. "Our thirst for progress has always danced dangerously close to destruction," she replied softly. "But if this fleet falls into the wrong hands, if it's activated without restraint, it could ignite a chain reaction that obliterates not just us, but countless worlds." Her tone was both admonishing and compassionate, a mirror to the inner conflict that now gripped Kai. Outside, the city pulsed with a frenetic energy that belied the serenity of the conversation. The threat of the supernova fleet was no longer an abstract anomaly. It had become a tangible specter looming over every neon-lit alley and shimmering tower. Every news bulletin, every whispered rumor among the street vendors and dock workers, hinted at the inexorable march of events that could culminate in an interstellar cataclysm. In that fraught moment, Kai felt the full brunt of his responsibility. His inner turmoil was a symphony of regret and determination, a call to arms that resonated in every fiber of his being. The duality of his mission, seeking truth while averting disaster, created an almost unbearable tension. With each passing second, the stakes escalated, and the once distant threat of the fleet's activation crept ever closer, its chilling promise of cosmic upheaval seeping into every shadow of Nova Etheria. As the meeting drew to a close, Arya's parting words lingered like a solemn benediction. "Remember, Kai, every revolution is born from the ashes of old worlds. We must tread carefully, or risk losing everything." With that, the weight of imminent catastrophe pressed upon him anew, mingling with the echoes of his past and the uncertain future that beckoned, a future where the line between salvation and oblivion blurred beneath the relentless march of destiny. In a deserted sector of Nova Etheria's sprawling industrial complex, the air pulsed with the electric tension of an impending storm. Dim, flickering lights danced along cold, concrete walls as Kai stepped into a vast, echoing chamber. Every footstep reverberated like a heartbeat that pounded with both dread and resolve. At the chamber's center, beneath a fractured skylight streaked with the colors of a dying sunset, stood Dr. Nova Caldera, her silhouette commanding against the wavering shadows. Their eyes locked in a moment that stretched into eternity. Kai's gaze burned with the anguish of loss and the fervor of a man determined to preserve what remained of humanity. Nova's expression, inscrutable yet fierce, radiated a conviction that bordered on fanaticism. The silence between them was thick, laden with unspoken truths and clashing ideologies. "Nova," Kai began, his voice resonant with both anger and sorrow. "Your plans, they're not evolution. They're recklessness. You'd see our world incinerated in the blaze of your so-called progress." His words sliced through the stale air, each syllable punctuating his inner torment. Nova's eyes shimmered with a chilling intensity as she replied, her tone measured and unnervingly calm. "Kai, you cling to outdated morals as if they were shields against the inevitable. The old order is crumbling, and with it the limits of what we thought possible. To rebuild, to truly evolve, we must be willing to tear down what is familiar, even if it burns everything in its wake." Her voice was a siren call to the restless souls who believed that transformation demanded sacrifice. As she spoke, the muted hum of distant machinery and the soft drip of condensation formed a dissonant symphony that underscored the gravity of their confrontation. The chamber itself seemed to lean in, its cold surfaces absorbing every word and emotion, as if the very walls were witnesses to this ideological duel. Kai's clenched fists trembled at his sides. Memories of his past, of loss, of a life shattered by the caprice of fate, flashed before his eyes. I lost everything once, Nova, he said, his voice cracking under the weight of his grief and conviction. I will not, let that happen again. Humanity deserves a chance to learn, to grow without annihilation. Your path may promise a new dawn, but it's paved with the ashes of countless lives. Nova's laugh, soft yet edged with derision, echoed in the cavernous space. And what is life without the fire of change? She countered. You speak of caution as if it were salvation, but in truth it is our fear of the unknown that holds us back. Every great leap in our history was born of risk, of daring to challenge the limits of existence. Her hand moved subtly, as if orchestrating unseen forces that pulsed around them, a reminder that the technology she wielded was as ancient as it was potent. Between them, the ideological chasm yawned wide, a battlefield where hope and hubris, preservation and transformation met in a clash of wills. The flicker of light caught on Nova's determined face, and the shadowed anguish in Kai's eyes, etching their expressions into the tapestry of the room. They stood as living symbols of a world at a crossroads, one man defending the fragile tapestry of humanity, the other championing a radical reformation through fire and rebirth. As the final echoes of their exchanged words faded into the dark, a palpable shift occurred in the atmosphere. The chamber was no longer merely a relic of forgotten industry. It had become the arena where destinies would be decided, where the clash of ideals would shape the future of countless lives. In that charged silence, it was clear the battle was not just of fists and firepower, but of hearts, minds, and the very soul of a civilization teetering on the edge of transformation. The neon dusk of Nova Etheria melted into chaos as Kai and his ragtag band of rebels surged toward the forbidden installation, a colossal orbital station that housed the dormant supernova fleet. The station loomed ahead, its silhouette a jagged scar against a canvas of exploding stars, its surface etched with cryptic symbols reminiscent of ancient warnings. As Kai's shuttle pierced the void, the frenzied pulse of interstellar alarms and the roar of approaching enemy vessels filled his ears, marking the onset of a confrontation that would decide the fate of entire worlds. Inside the labyrinthine corridors of the installation, every step was abrush with peril. The air was thick with a volatile mix of ionized energy and the acrid tang of burning circuits. Flickering emergency lights painted erratic patterns on the metallic walls, transforming each narrow passageway into a gauntlet of shadow and light. Kai led his team through these claustrophobic halls, each footfall echoing like a drumbeat of impending doom. They moved with a mix of precision and raw desperation, every member aware that a single misstep could ignite a chain reaction of destruction. As they reached the central control chamber, the room unfurled before them like the beating heart of an ancient beast. Holographic displays cascaded with pulsating data streams, while towering consoles hummed with the latent power of alien technology. At the center of it all, a massive crystalline core glowed with a soft yet menacing light, the nexus of the supernova fleet's power. Here, the secrets of the ancient relics lay intertwined with the machinations of modern ambition. The silence was shattered by the sound of shattering glass and the thud of heavy boots. Dr. Nova Caldera, flanked by her elite guards, burst into the chamber with a predatory smile. Her eyes sparkled with the fervor of a zealot and the confidence of one who held the keys to humanity's next evolution. "You're too late, Kai," she hissed, her voice slicing through the din. "The fleet is already awakening. Witness the birth of a new era." A maelstrom of chaos erupted. Laser fire crisscrossed the chamber as Nova's guards clashed with Kai's team. Amidst the mayhem, Kai sprinted toward the crystalline core, his mind a battlefield of conflicting emotions. Every step he took resonated with the weight of all that he had lost, and the hope of a future yet unwritten. Explosions reverberated through the station, and the very structure trembled as power levels surged beyond safe thresholds. In the midst of the fray, allies fell and unexpected sacrifices were made. Arya, who had been a steadfast pillar of reason, braved a near-fatal assault to disable critical security nodes, her resolve shining through her pain. Each moment was a desperate ballet of strategy and raw survival instinct, as the balance between technological ambition and moral responsibility teetered on the brink of collapse. As Kai reached the core, he discovered a final harrowing truth encoded within its luminous matrix. The ancient relics were not merely dormant weapons, but intricate instruments designed to trigger controlled supernovas, meant to catalyze cosmic rebirth, not utter annihilation. This revelation, shimmering in the interplay of light and data, sent a jolt through his very soul. Nova's vision, however, had already blurred the lines between creation and devastation. With the fleet's activation nearing its critical threshold, Kai was forced into a final heart-wrenching decision. In a desperate bid to avert an irreversible cataclysm, he initiated a counter-sequence, a risky override of the alien protocols that might either restore balance or plunge the galaxy into chaos. As alarms screamed and the station vibrated with uncontrolled energy, every heartbeat, every breath was a countdown to destiny. In that searing moment, as the installation teetered on the edge of collapse, the fate of countless lives hung in the balance, a battle not just for survival, but for the very soul of the cosmos. In the eerie silence that followed the cataclysm, Nova Etheria bore the scars of cosmic upheaval like a battle-worn tapestry. The orbital station, once a formidable symbol of technological ambition, now lay in ruins. Its shattered spires and drifting fragments, a haunting testament to a conflict that had almost unraveled the fabric of existence. The air, still tinged with the remnants of ionized energy, carried a mournful resonance, a symphony of loss, hope, and the fragile promise of renewal. Kai stood on a crumbling balcony overlooking the city, his eyes scanning a horizon marked by both devastation and the first tentative signs of rebirth. The neon glow, although dimmed, continued to pulse through the fractured skyline, as if the city itself was taking a reluctant breath after a suffocating storm. The streets below, once teeming with relentless activity, now held an uncanny calm, a silence that spoke volumes of the lives forever altered by the cosmic inferno. Memories of the fierce battle mingled with the soft murmur of recovery. Kai recalled the desperate sprint through the labyrinthine corridors of the installation, the clash of ideologies in that sacred chamber, and the heart-rending sacrifices made by his comrades, each moment a raw shard of determination and sorrow. His heart, burdened with the weight of those sacrifices, swelled with a complex mix of regret and resolute hope. He had not only fought for survival, but also for the very soul of a civilization teetering on the edge of oblivion. Wandering through the city's aftermath, Kai encountered citizens who, despite their losses, had begun to rebuild. In a small enclave beneath a damaged hollow banner, a group of engineers and artists collaborated to restore a mural depicting the ancient alien symbols, a reminder that even in decay, there lay a promise of continuity. Their whispers of cautious optimism and murmurs of resilient defiance resonated with Kai's own inner resolve. Each step he took through the cobblestone alleys, now washed in the gentle light of a reawakened dawn, reaffirmed his belief that from destruction, a new order could emerge. Elsewhere, in the shadow of what once was a grand plaza, survivors gathered to honor those who had perished. Their solemn faces reflected both grief and gratitude, a collective memory etched into the very fabric of the city. In their eyes, Kai saw not only the pain of loss, but also the seeds of transformation. The devastating encounter with the Supernova fleet had forced humanity to confront its unbridled ambition, its reckless thirst for progress, and the profound cost of tampering with forces beyond mortal control. As Kai moved through these scenes of tentative revival, he found solace in the quiet reflections of his own journey. The discovery that the ancient relics were designed for controlled rebirth, not mere annihilation, had opened a doorway to a future where science and responsibility might finally coexist in delicate harmony. Yet, this revelation came at a steep price, a price paid in sacrifice, in shattered dreams, and in the irrevocable alteration of a society that once soared on the wings of unchecked ambition. In the aftermath of cosmic conflict, Nova Etheria emerged not unscathed, but wiser. The collective memory of the ordeal would serve as a somber reminder of the perils of playing with the very forces that birthed the stars. For Kai, every scar on the city, every echo of lost voices, was both a warning and a beacon, a call to nurture the fragile light of hope, to champion a future where progress was measured not in raw power, but in the tender balance of humanity and humility. With the first rays of a new dawn casting long shadows across the rebuilt avenues, Kai's gaze lifted toward a horizon imbued with both challenge and promise. In that profound moment of quiet reflection, the journey of struggle, sacrifice, and rebirth reached its poignant closure. The cosmos had spoken, and from its tumultuous chorus emerged a single, enduring truth. Even in the wake of catastrophe, the human spirit could rise to forge a destiny worthy of the stars.